All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook Live for
What's
round
up?
3 of Yin and Yang, courtesy of the Matrix, right? I am
Yeah.
Coach Michelle. I am your online spiritual life coach, also a psychic channeler and energy healer. Go by the nickname of Trinity, also Yin, based on my Taurian sign, and alongside my co-host of Take It
I
Away.
am Jay Hollingshed, International's energy healer and spiritual coach, aka Morpheus, and I go by Yang for the purpose of this beautiful broadcast you have tuned in on.
You've got it right. And as always, kids, right? Sound like a rendition of Sesame Street. Today's message is brought to you by capital LOVE, all out of love
Love.
in unconditional form, straight from the great divine through us to yours. All right.
Yes.
So, Jay,
Yes.
let's start off with, when I'm with my clientele, I like to start off by celebrating their wins. What are we expressing gratefulness for?
Oh wow. Gratefulness. Oh, that's an easy one for me. I tell people every day. That's like when they ask me how am I doing, I say, I woke up.
Come
I'm
on,
grateful for that.
you've got
Just
it.
to start.
You've
Yes,
got it.
yes.
And living that life of abundancy through the impact of gratefulness, right?
Oh yes.
That
Oh
right
yes.
there
Every
brings
day.
balance and harmony to everything that's happening within our lives. So I'm expressing gratefulness for it is the eve of the autumn solstice. Tomorrow's the first day of fall. Whoop, whoop. The great
Correct.
harvest season is my favorite season, quite honestly. Even though I was born in spring, it's something about this season of fall. I've always have literally have fallen in love with fall. Fancy that. Nonetheless, I digress. The other thing, Coach Jay, aka Morpheus, I am grateful for the fact that, yes, everyone, do I dare say it? I am grateful for the fact that we are in the midst of Mercury retrograde. Oh,
Ooh. You just hurt
the
some people
feathers,
with that one.
the daggers. Oh my gosh, make
Oh,
it stop, right? So, again,
all right.
Mercury retrograde, we started back towards the tail end of August, right on onset of September 1. So, actually, August 29th, right? And so, Mercury retrograde, it retrogrades for about 3 weeks or so. And due to steer, you see, I'm turning my hand steer in its forward motion again, come October 1, the tail end of it, right into October 2nd. Though, what makes it stop? No, no, no. Even though I'm telling you now, Mercury is going to start going forward again around October 1, October 2nd. It's
Mhm.
not edged forward yet. There's a shadow period, a 2-week shadow period time prior to the onset of its retrograde motion. And then once it starts moving forward again, it takes its time moving forward for full throttle. Now, what's
Right.
that for? You know, Coach Jay, would you like to take that? Why does Mother Nature take its time with our human lives? What is it about us that, are we always supposed to be in a rush? Is
Well,
everything
I
supposed to
could
be this thing?
let me
Say
tell
it.
you from experience, okay? The timelines you just mentioned, like the end of August all the way through like now, and as soon as you said the end of August, I thought back. I was like, okay, there's some things, some projects I started towards the end of August. Knowing me, deadlines, and I'm trying to put a deadline of everything, setting goals, and I'm pushing and I'm pushing. Life is throwing circumstances at me, and I'm trying to push even harder. But this retrograde, the word itself, retro, go back. So it's pushing me back to slow down and think about it and reflect on what am I doing. Where for me, it's reflecting on where I've been, where I am, what
Mhm.
I am doing, and how do I get to where I'm going to be. Because if I rush through it, I'm going to miss out on the answers to all those that I just spoke of.
You got it.
So all the help that's going to come my way, if I'm rushing, I can't pay attention to the signs and the symbols, the directionals that are coming from the universe to guide me my to my goals that I'm trying to reach.
Yeah. All those spiritual signs we were talking about, that's excluded to no one. We all have access to it. We're
Yeah.
the ones that provide our own hiccups. I mean, we talked about this for at least the past couple of months or 2 months or so ago, right?
Yes.
Ride this wave of life, which is to be road, like gracefully, ever so
gracefully.
gracefully and lovingly, regardless of what little nuance may come into our path.
Yeah.
Theo
And
Huxtable,
it,
dating myself here, as Theo Huxtable used to say on the Cosby Show. I'm taking it all. That's what we have.
yeah.
Life is an ongoing. It should never be a struggle or conducive of that. It should be an ongoing onset of a balancing act. And the way that we do such a thing is through mindfulness and reminding ourselves, right?
Yes.
Sometimes
Yes.
the divine may put someone and use that beautiful opportunity, right? Even when we feel like things are in a rut, things are going astray. The great
Yeah.
divine will put someone in your pathway and remind you of that.
That's right.
So many spiritual signs. What were you going to say, Jay?
No, and it was just when you did that, that's life, the ebbs and the flows.
God,
And the thing is, like with me, I was trying to do this, but I was going
the
like that.
universe is like, boop, hold on.
I was doing that. So the retrograde said, pow. And the
Yeah.
retrograde started pushing me like this. Relax, the ebb and flows. Go with the ebb and flows of life, the ups and downs, reflect on those and
Mhm.
stay calm. Roll with it. It's like trying to swim in the ocean. Ride the tides. I don't know how many of you all listening have actually been out to the beach and you try to ride the waves. If you try to swim against the waves, you can't do it. But if you just relax and let the waves float you, and you flow. That's life. That's the situations. That's what retrograde does for us.
That is absolutely right, Jay, because Mercury retrograde, that is, it's a phenomenon that definitely occurs 3 times out of the calendar year. There are oftentimes too, well, periodically, it's almost kind of like a leap year, right? Every now and then you'll find 4 opportunities where Mercury is going into retrograde. Nonetheless,
Yeah.
this is the final one for this calendar year. Use this quickly, use this as a great resource for you to not only slow down your tracks, use this opportunity to look back and reflect on things and simply say, what may be happening, or what are some loose ends that have occurred back when? And I'm talking strictly because this calendar year. Don't go beyond that. If you want to, you can, though. When Mercury retrograde appears, it's for you to focus on this calendar year.
Yes.
So don't try to go above that. It's just not worth it. Nonetheless, if something does need to be recalled, guess what? Your subconsciousness will pop in. Don't try
Right.
to just go with the flow.
Right.
Your body knows best. Your soul knows even better. Allow
And
it to guide you on and in. Okay, so have some loose ends. Tie them up quickly within Mercury
exactly.
retrograde. You have
But
2 weeks
see,
in that shadow period, 3 weeks during the thing, and another 2 weeks as it's moving
yeah.
forward. That's ample time for you to do what you
So
have to do. It's so graceful.
what you mentioned, loose ends, that's big. That is really big, especially throughout this year. We've all have been like me, just trying to run through it. But the retrogrades are spaced out so timely to give us that ebb and flow. And especially now, this point in time, we're going into the final quarter of the year. So if you got things you want to tie up and complete by the end of the year, we got 3 good months, 3 good solid months to do that. So, or is it 4? 3. I'm sorry, yeah, 3 good solid months to do that.
Oh, this year's flying by.
And so when you think about that, the loose ends, stop and reflect, retrograde. You want to retro your thoughts, retro your emotions, reflect on what you didn't finish. How do you feel about that? Is it worth finishing? You have 3 months left.
Got it.
Weigh out your time, find the balance in whether it's worth it to go forward and try to squeeze it in or to let it rest and come back and get it. It's
Yeah,
balance. It's all about that balance.
it is. Everything is about the great balance of life, right? Hence the
Yeah.
yin and yang. So, hi, Shelby. I see you just popped in. Welcome to our
Hey.
Facebook Live. We're talking about everyone's favorite topic, right? Balance,
Yeah.
especially that retrograde time. So, again, the balance in life, it is so key. It is so primal. It is the creme de la creme for moving forward in life.
Right. Right.
Learning
Right.
how to get out of our own way based on what? Oftentimes, what is this word I'm pointing to here?
That's a big one right there. Fear.
Fear. So here's what we need to do and recognize with fear. Fear is a primary feeling, right? We
Yeah.
have to learn how to contextualize fear and understand what that means. What we do not understand, we take off and go the wrong way with it.
Right,
Now it's
right,
the
right.
emotional side of things. Then fear is no longer simplified. We've made it complicated instead, right? So now we've got
Exactly.
another layering of stuff we've got to filter through to get back to the primary feeling of fear. And
Yeah,
again, as
yeah.
I tell my clientele, what does fear really mean?
And see, it's fear is it's one of the heaviest emotional words in the English language. And it's natural for us as humans to fear what we don't understand. And the thing is, that's key. Fearing what we fear what we don't understand. So what do we need to do? Get an understanding.
I'm more
Don't run
resourceful.
from
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah,
And if it's an emotional weight, that weight is energy. That's a gift. Use that weight. Use that weight to put that weight on top of something that's been pushing you around. Use it.
exactly.
It's an emotional weight. Use it to help control your emotions. Don't let the fear control you. You control your fears.
Ground yourself. And I know I'm probably evoking thought when I say this, right? Ground yourself within fear.
Yeah. Oh,
Ground
not,
yourself in fear.
you
Oh,
got people biting. You got people biting their fingernails now.
no, 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 we're supposed to scream and run. The sky is falling. No, that's too, hon. No,
Fear is one of the greatest gifts the universe can give us
it is.
because fear is it's a directional. When you hit this, you stop, look, and understand it. There's a lesson in every fear. There's lessons in that. We peel back those layers of that fear, gain the understanding, and it won't be a fear anymore. Because when we approach that same situation, we will approach that with the faith, knowing that we have already overcome that. Turn that fear into a faith based on the energy that that fear gives you. Look inside of it and pull it out.
Exactly right. And my spirit guides right now are guiding me to say, this is fear, dear.
Oh yeah,
But fear is love in
yeah,
its true unconditional form, its truest form. It's agape love, it's divine love, because fear means if it comes to you from the great divine out of an abundance of love, fear means knock, knock, knock. Change is coming up.
yeah,
Get excited.
yeah.
And I know, I love to utilize the implementation of quantum thought, right? I think of one's different pathway and aspects of life. We're all going through or have gone through many forms of trauma, right? So people
Hmm.
feel like fear. Okay, I'm in the midst of going through some crap, like some really deep stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
You want me to
yeah.
say this is love, and I'm to ground myself in fear, and fear is all good, and fear is okay, and fear means that change is coming through. That so you see how Queen Dina's doing right now? They're saying, put this brick up. What's she
Yeah.
leaning on? What's she
You
leaning on to get through it?
you are resting on love. Love.
You
And
got
I'm
it.
I'm glad you said the word unconditional when you brought up love because unconditional is such a big word that means for better or for worse.
Correct.
For lack of better, that's the best way I can sum that up.
And what you just said, for better, for worse. Most people are like triggered already based on what society's talking about marriage. Wrong.
Nah, nah.
Love yourselves for better and for worse. Before
Unconditionally.
you apply that to someone else, love yourself first, and everything
Yes.
else will follow. That's the balancing act. That's the equipoise of yin and yang.
Mm. You
That's
took
the
the
way it
words
goes.
right out of my mouth. I was going to say that is the balance because once you love yourself and then everything else around you is balanced off of that love because the energy is you. You are the point within a circle. The circle is your world. So you radiate the love from you, radiate that out. And that's going to create your electromagnetic field and you will attract more love.
Just about to say, what did we talk about last month, Big Bro? We talked about the universal law of attraction. You
Yeah,
got it. You love yourself first, everything else will follow. You
right.
loving yourself first is like giving the great divine a high five. for its creation of you.
Yeah. Appreciation.
You don't lose with that, right? Appreciate
Yeah.
you. We all want certain aspects and things in life, whether it be certain people, whether it be materialistic stuff. And there's no with wanting material things, because when you're here in this plane on earth as earth, you have to
Yeah.
have material things in order to get things done, or do things, or just to treat you. It
Correct.
doesn't matter big or small, material things. Is all based on the individual, right? There's no judgment involved. You're
Yeah.
here to life. So getting back, I want to just quickly state that, be grateful that Mercury retrograde is here. And the way that it slows us down as human beings, the planet of Mercury governs that of communication style. It also governs that of technology now too. You know,
Okay.
in
Okay.
the interest of time, it's known, and passed down from psychic to psychic, astrologers, you name it. This is really not the time to sign something brand new. Why? Because, and I'm talking contractual rights,
Uh-huh.
unless that thing is a contract that is going to redo something that you've already previously have implemented. There's a
Yeah.
caveat to it. This is your season to redo things again. When you look back and reflect and say, you know what, I could have done better than that. Here's a grandiose response. Here's an opportunity. It's okay. Hey, you see this as a better, sweeter deal? Sign away, because it's all in enthrallment with
Right.
what you originally had established, right? Though nonetheless, anything super brand new, wait until Mercury goes forward so that you can go forward with
Yeah.
it too, all right, and succeed.
Exactly. And what you just said is in line with the retrograde, because we will have looked back and examined what our previous contract was, or what a previous agreement was with whoever that is, or what entity that is.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And even, when we look back and reflect, right, we are don't rule out, things that you want to do for yourself. Look at your environment, and I'm meaning that of your relationships. How many of us have
Oh
had to
yeah.
look back and reflect on how well we were loving ourselves?
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Review
That's
these things. Do I need to tighten up loose ends with healthy boundaries with individuals? Are people
yeah.
have
That
failed to do so? Failed to do so, just saying I've been donated against that. Am I seeing the same riffraff based on the same people I've allowed to come back into my life? What are they showing me again?
right. Right.
Mercury retrograde. I'm gonna tie up this loose end. All right. So yeah,
But
go ahead.
that self-love is a big one, because
Yeah,
it
well.
determines it's the foundation for every circumstance that we deal with going forward. It's
Mhm.
based on, because if we walk around with low self-esteem, okay, that's a symbol of low self-love. When you walk around with low self-esteem, how do people treat you? How do people treat you versus walking around being super confident and loving yourself? What kind of energies do you attract? What kind of people do you attract? You walk around with your head hung low. What kind of people do you attract when your head is hung high? Okay, you attract better circumstances, different circumstances. So self-love determines your circumstances that you have for moving forward. So think about that, especially coming out of retrograde and moving forward. Now is the time to reflect on loving yourself more, and how do you do that?
Mm. I'm glad you posed that question. How do you do that? How does one sit back and reflect? You start by, and we mentioned this in the very first Facebook Live month. I remember that. Look at your environment. Remember,
Yeah,
someone posed the question of, what can I do to change the energy? You start with your environment, things that you see, you look around yourself, things that you can control right now, whether it
yeah,
be things within your personal relationship lives, or even within your home, right?
yeah.
Everything is chi, everything is energy. Nothing's excluded from that. And again, going back to the fact, modern day sciences teaches us that in every, as I like to call it, every genre of that, right? So big
Yeah,
and broad, I just call it one big genre. So nonetheless, you have to be cognizant of the fact that there is always a cause and effect. Pardon me, a cause and effect for everything.
yeah,
You can control your outcomes in life.
yeah,
What do I mean by
yeah.
that? first, in order to do such a thing, you have to live your lives with such courageousness, and and I'm thinking about my own experiences in life. When I say I had to learn how to be courageous enough to understand my own value, my own
Yeah.
worthiness in life, that's when things get revved up. Hint, hint, wink, wink, Jay. You know what I'm saying
Hey.
when we talk about this, right? It's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
about understanding who you are, recognizing why you're here, even if you don't know all of your purposes in life, because we have more than one. I tell this to everyone. So,
Yeah.
nonetheless, you know you've arrived for a fantastic reason, even if it begins right there. That's when things get started, okay? The universe
And
waits for us, allows for us, gives us ample time. That's what Mercury retrograde is for. Every year,
hmm
we have these beautiful chunks of 3 chances each year to get this thing right. Talk about
yeah.
forgiveness, right? That's from the great
And
divine. Learning how to
we
forgive
all
yourself,
know
keep it moving forward.
that one person that's like the life of the party everywhere they go. They're super energetic, they're high strung, all this high energy. I got a friend of mine, he's an attorney, and we met for breakfast. And it was in a small, quiet little breakfast spot, little cafe type deal that he recommended.
Okay.
And so he came in like, yo, Jay, what's up, man? What's up? How you doing, man?
Just
And
love
it was
that.
like 4 or 5 people in this small little, breakfast spot. And he was like, "Oh man, I'm on a 12, man. Let me dial it back a little bit, man. Let me dial it back." But that's the type of person he is, and he has no lack of love for himself.
I know the other
None.
people in that place were like, please do not. It probably boosted their energy.
Yeah,
They needed.
because energy is contagious. It
Yes,
is so contagious. So when you walk in, a lot of times your energy will precede you. People can feel your presence coming when you know who you are, you know what you're about, and you are bold. You've heard the phrase, life is given to the bold, life belongs to the bold. So when you are bold in your love for yourself, you walk into any circumstance, you walk into a room and people turn around and look at you. They never heard you walk in, they never heard your feet hit the floor. But when you walked in, why did they turn around and look at you? Because that love you have for yourself reached out and they felt it. They felt like, what is this behind me? Not who, but what is behind me? Because you are an entity.
this
Yes.
energy that's so radiant and vast. It just makes you stop in
Yes.
your tracks and you're like, oh, what was that? Okay.
Exactly.
That's a life of thrive, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
When you are basking and glowing, why? Because you're flowing. That's thrive. When
Yeah.
we are going against the grain, trying to do our own thing, right? Have our set agenda and making no room for changes to come through to keep us on our forward straight line,
Woo.
record, keeping us in alignment so all things are fine, then guess
Yeah.
what? That's surviving. Ick.
Yeah.
And we're
Nobody
sitting
wants to
here for
survive.
ick. We're sitting here for magnificence because we are
Yes.
magnificent within ourselves based on our chi. So,
Yes. Energy reciprocates. Whatever energies you put out, that's what's going to come back. So you walk around with your head down all you want to. You don't notice yourself, nobody's going to notice you. But with you, when you notice yourself, you walk in the room and turn around, everybody's going to notice you. And it's not an arrogant thing. It's a confident thing. You walk in like, yeah, what's up? I mean, you are the life of your own party. And the world is invited to your party when they feel your energy.
you
Live in that. Oh,
you got it.
oof,
What can we say? You see us glowing here. We're all smiles.
yeah.
Not to say that we don't go through really challenging times, because yes, we do. There'll be times I'll be like, look, Coach Jay, man, what's this? This is what humanity is for, kids. All right. No one energy healer entity, no one psychic is going to know it all. That goes against the great divine's plan, right? The only one
Right.
who is omnipotent, all knowing, and everywhere too. That's again spirit, source, Yahweh, Allah, however you identify with the great divine. That one. Though, in interest of time, I like to remind everyone we all have these beautiful spiritual gifted talents and gifts that we are equally here to share, recognizing that for who and what they are, what we are, which is first and foremost, we're spiritual beings having human spirit. Second, finding those key players within our lives who Yaba has placed right before our eyes and say, you know what? They're cool enough to be in my sacred circle spot. Here's who they are. They have recognized who they are on the inside, have their heightened awareness of self, have their heightened awareness of gifts. Kids, listen to me. I have my sacred circle too. And guess what? I love it because when I have a missing puzzle piece, right? Again, they're telling me today's message, kids, again, is brought to you by an
There
abundance
you
of love.
go.
When
Love.
you identify who they are and you recognize their gifts, it's like physicians, right? They will lean on their colleagues when they have a challenging case. One entity is going to have a missing puzzle piece for you, and then it gets flipped because what chi is not all about give and take. I'll circle back on that mantra again. That makes me cringe. It's reciprocated, my friend. Someone's going to have a missing puzzle piece that you need to move forward in life, and quickly at that, the same person will probably have that to have your back. That's what the sacred circle is for. Getting back to
Yeah.
the institutions, right? When they have a challenging case, challenging time, they're scratching the side of their brain. Guess what? They have their powwow. They have their sacred circle, right? Their dear colleagues and friends that they lean on and trust for their ignorance. No, for their gifts and their talents, right? And here's the
Correct.
kicker part: intelligence is one thing. Hear me out. Intelligence is one thing based on knowledge and wisdom, based on our experiences, right? Take it a step further. Keep yourself opened up. Challenge yourself, regardless if you're going through things like this, fearing and the worry and the stuff out. Reel it back in. That's what humanity's for. Someone will come in your path, remind you of who you are and how much power you have on the inside. Take a woosah, balance that out. This is all about yin and yang, right? Equipoise of that. Balancing, reharmonization of that. Wow. Let me say that 3 times fast.
I want to touch on what you said. Let me touch on that sacred circle.
Yeah.
Now, I love what you said about the sacred circle because it's who you're surrounding yourself with. Like, and that's a good thing to reflect on right now, being that we are in retrograde. Reflect on your circle. Compare 2 different circles: the circles you used to hang with and the circles you are hanging with, or in the circles you want to hang with. Now, when you think about those circles, that's 3 circles. Yeah. So when you think about those 3 circles, think about the conversations that go on in each one of those. The circles you used to hang in, the circles you're in now, and the circles you want to be in. Like, what kind of conversations are being held? Are they productive for your mind? Because what you are doing, you're not just surrounding yourself, you're surrounding your mind. You're surrounding your mind. There are 5 gateways to your mind, which are your 5 senses. In those circles, what are you smelling? What are you hearing? What are you tasting? What are you feeling? What are you seeing? All something different, 3 different ways. Go ahead. I see your spirit is trying to itch and say something.
See my hands in prayer position right here at my heart space, right here at my heart chakra. Okay. When we look back and reflect at those previous circles, thank them.
Yeah.
Express gratitude for them. Every circle you've had, whether look back, it may have been positive, thank them. There's even when something is dark, it's just like the moonlight late at night. There's always light there. There's positivity.
Yeah.
So whether again, I'm piggybacking on my astrological sign. I'm a Taurian. I'm a bull, right? My sign primarily harbors that of yin. In the yin yang symbol, that's the dark side. Ooh, Vader would love that, wouldn't he? Okay, let me stop. I know, right? The dark side of yin, though, also in that yin yang symbol, yin has a small circle of white, right? That's the side of life. Now, Coach Jay, he is an Aquarius, right? His astrological sign is primarily that of yang, right? Okay, so again, on that yin yang equipoise, that photograph that you can see in your third eye's mind right now, third eye mind, all of you all have that sense. So don't think that it went by the wayside when you were kids and people call it the imagination. That's third eye view. I digress on that too. That's another time. Nonetheless, okay, primarily that of the white side. In the image of it, you'll see a small black dot. Okay, that's completion, learning from the yin side, right? That's what this is for. that has strategized this game of chess in humanity form, right? So that we can learn from each other, learn from one another, understand what yin is for, understand what yang is for, regardless of the type of experience that you're going through. You go through yang experiences, you go through yin experiences too. You got to learn the yang that's within yin. You've got to learn the yin that's within yang. That's the
Yep.
equipoise.
There
Boom,
you
there it
go.
is. There it is. That is exactly what I'm
There you
describing.
go.
So again, you come across someone who's primarily yang, like Coach Jay is. I'm someone who's primarily yin. Guess what we're doing? Even though we're here sharing our enlightenment with you, we share our enlightenment with each other too, learning from each side.
Yeah.
That's what this is for.
Yeah.
Have fun with that. Even if it may make you feel like cringing, you gotta say, no, get yourselves out of your comfort zone. That's what Mercury retrograde is here for, kids. You've been
Yeah.
comforting yourself way too much. Look at all the nonsense, the riffraff. And I'm saying that because we are to steadily evolve throughout our lives. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's a whole lot of fun. Ride that wave.
Yeah.
Life, right?
I'm loving the comments that I'm seeing. Like Shelby says, she loves retrograde. It reminds her to slow down, reflect, and prepare for the positive. And Natalie is saying, "Hey, truth." She agrees.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, I smile and chuckle because right now my spirit guides are in my ear, right? You look at all the magazines, the tons of social media articles that are out there on the internet. They make you fear, run and hide, like you just need to go find a rabbit hole or just make yourself like an ostrich with his head stuck in a hole during Mercury retrograde. Stop
Right.
freaking out about it, kids. Mercury retrograde
Breathe.
is an abundance of love. It's for you to love
Breathe.
yourself more now than ever before and look back and say, you know what? There's some things I like to change. And here's the reason why. Because there's some things I want to do on the other side of this time, meaning Mercury retrograde. Well, how do you get from point A to point B? By doing the same thing each and every time?
No.
Change things up. Have fun tweaking things around. And even sometimes these changes aren't even vast. It may be something tiny and minute that'll get you to that next level fast. That's
Yeah.
what the reflection time is for. So enjoy that. That's the balance of life. That's the yin and yang. Be peaceful
Yeah.
and love
That
yourself.
is a good point to kind of segue out of because we have been rolling for a solid 35 minutes. We have 10 minutes left.
Why
And
is it
yes,
having fun? I'm like, how is that?
exactly. Well, actually, it's been 33 minutes, but
Okay.
I know how we can get. I know
Hey,
we can get when we're having fun.
we can. It's
So,
all good.
I mean, if there are any questions that anybody wants to ask, y'all can shoot them right now. And if not, we will definitely move on to working up some assignments because we like to give assignments
Me
now. Give you
too.
something to work on.
Let's see now. Should we start with some key takeaways before assignments
Oh
or
yeah, key takeaways. Yeah, let's do that. Do that.
what one thing that I'm tugging my ear, right? So most of us that are here, they know what this means. I'm hearing in real time as a psychic channeler. And I have before me selenite, which is a beautiful
Hey.
selenite is so stinking sweet. It's so powerful. In fact, if you laid other crystals on top or around it, it will help it to recharge itself. Just like
Yes.
you put it alongside of quartz. I'm not trying to go down the deep hole of crystals, though. Crystals are my friends. Now, with selenite, the reason why I'm being spiritually led to hold this up for everyone to see, selenite can keep you grounded. Okay, it's just one aspect of life, right? What did we say on the flip side earlier on? When we're going through Mercury retrograde, and especially when this is around, ground, ground. Don't flee, don't run, don't go down the rabbit hole of the Charlie
Hmm.
Brown, the Charlie Brown rabbit hole of the emotional side. Recognize
Yeah.
fear for what it's for. It means change is coming. Find your passion. They're telling me, hold this up again. I love crystals. Okay. I have them all around my home, every aspect, even at my workspace, right? I love crystals. I can reground by cooking something, right? Going outside, being in fresh air, being in Mother Nature, walking around, paying attention to the beauty of life. Never live this thing called life without some ounce or nuance of wonderment. There's so many amazing things around here, things that'll make you stop. And then here's another beautiful aspect they're telling on me, Jay. So sometimes another way that I just make it all stop, if something is coming at
Uh-huh.
me so strongly and I'm feeling overwhelmed, guess what I'll do?
Yeah.
A pseudo outer body experience. Woo, what did she say? Oh my gosh. No, I will see myself standing at the tippy top on top of the globe, and I'm looking down at the earth, reminding myself at how vast everything is and how small
Yeah.
the problem is while I'm here on this
Yes.
plane. Get creative with your groundiness.
Yes.
Some people will take
Yes.
candela and color. What? There's so many different ways to ground. Find your niche in that. Bask in that.
You know, one of the ways I love to ground, and I take if we weren't doing a broadcast right now, I'll be out getting my walk in.
Yeah,
That's what I
right
do.
now, walk, all right. Yep.
Yeah, I like to walk out in nature and just be out amongst. I like to hear the sounds of nature, and I walk in the evenings, late in the evenings, because the noise of society dies down, and I'm able to hear Mother Earth speak, sing her song. Mother Earth's song is the sounds of the crickets, the birds, and whatever, and the water that's flowing, and the wind rustling through the leaves of the trees. And
Great.
so I get out and I close my eyes and I just listen to that symphony and I feel that and I become one with that. I inhale it, I smell it, I try to taste it, I try to see it. And when I'm walking, trees that are low enough, I hear the wind blowing through them and it sounds like an applause. So I feel like, oh,
I
it's an
love it.
applause. So what I do is I put my hand up and I high five every leaf I can get to because they're just hands of the earth.
Speaking of
They're
high
reaching
five,
out to me. I'm reaching back up.
too, Jay. She's like, yes, JB too. I see. Ah, me playing with the pets. Pets, yes, especially. She says
Oh yeah.
cats, they are amazing role models for how to ground and relax. I
Oh
agree with that.
yes.
I love watching cats from afar. I'm just like, they're so stoic. They'll just look at
Yeah.
you like, what are you worried for? Just relax,
Right.
just flow, just go with the flow, right? Your pets, animals, give your pets a hug. If you're feeling overwhelmed, that's what they're there for, hon. We have to start looking at things with this clinical lens or this spiritual lens instead. Everything that
Yeah.
breathes life, there's a spirit inside, all right? That spirit is
Yes.
there to ground you, to be your guide, okay? Your pets are your spirit guides right here on earth.
Yes.
Pay attention
Yes,
to
they
what
are.
they're saying. They're there to love you and to provide you with that unconditional love to let you know thy will be done.
Yes.
Everything is a-okay. There's no need to worry. All right.
Oh, that is so true. I used to breed German shepherds, right? Back when I was living in Memphis.
Oh, you did say
And
that.
during that time, I was a firefighter. So I would be working, I would work my 24-hour shift. And sometimes if I'm riding the emergency unit, I'll get maybe 4 hours of sleep that whole 24-hour shift. So
Oh,
I come home, I am tired. I would think there's no energy left in my body. But the minute I open that door and the dogs come to me, they energy is transferred. They give me that energy, that unconditional love. I can't help but smile and laugh and hug them because they brought me up. They uplifted me. They uplifted my spirit. So what Dina is saying is true. Shelby, what you said about the pets is true. It is true where they give you that energy. They teach you how to ground and they also teach you how to balance.
exactly right.
Unconditional love. Unconditional love.
There's so many tools around us to help us stay calm and grounded, right? Just like there's so many different spiritual signs that we have at any given time. As long as we heighten our awareness to what they are, the moment we do so, the
Yeah.
universe is going to be like, oh, yeah, they're responding to this. Okay, pay attention to that. Here's another story. Here's another
Yeah.
lesson. Pay attention to these clues. Then, hey, next thing you know, once you master that, here comes another one. What's that I'm hearing now, too? Whoa, what? I'm getting these tingly sensations, these spiritual confirmation signs of
Hmm.
yes. Identifying your yes and no responses, it's never ending. There's so many tools
Yes.
in the
Oh.
trade and living this thing called life out of
Ah,
a thrive, not survive. We survive
yes.
when we don't take the time to learn who we are inside. Heighten your self-awareness. Heighten your awareness of
Yes.
thyself.
Yes.
Everything else will follow along. The universe is waiting for us to show up for ourselves, show up for who we are, right? When before we come down here, we kind of hinted on, I think this month too, that we signed this sacred contract of what we are here to do. Though we come in,
Yeah.
whoa, what was that? Oh my gosh, you're my mom. What's going on? So many different things,
Right.
different relationships and different spiritual pathways. It doesn't matter. Then we get hit with all these different traumas, right? And
Yeah.
my God is saying not just, oh gosh, you're my mom. Then sometimes it's like, oh gosh, you're my dad. What is it? You're my auntie. All these things we are learning, right? Me being in
Yeah.
time, primarily that of dark, what I had to learn is that yang, that positivity that's within the darkness, right? That's that holistic sign of universal oneness, of balance, of grounding that. You find
Yeah.
yourself in a place of darkness. And I go back to, each and every time, I go back to the darkness that was within my childhood. And it trickled over to my adulthood too. Why? Because I didn't take the time to go back and reflect and handle that, handling by learning what's the golden, juicy nugget of opportunity to progress my life. There's
We gotta
always
wrap it up.
a nugget
Gotta
there.
wrap it up.
Oh, we do? Oh, 41 minutes. Okay, and counting. All right.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
Yeah.
positivity is everywhere. Hear me out. Point blank, it's everywhere, even in the midst of dark. Flip side of yang. Sometimes, and hear me out, this is evocation of thought here. When we're in yang, mainly in a positive side, okay, you got to take some time to learn from the shadow side too. You learn from all positive things, you're missing out on
Hmm.
something while you're here on this earth. Hear me out. The balancing of life. That's what it's for.
Yes.
All right. So don't run, don't hide, get busy learning, and you fly. All right.
It is a part of you, that shadow side, just like this yin and yang right here. Where is that? There it is, right there. Yeah, just like this. I mean,
Learning from each side.
there's a dark within the light. There's a light within the dark. So, and I say that to give you an assignment of coming out of retrograde as we exit out, and you make your plans going forward. Plan for balance. Plan for rest.
Yes.
Even if you use the 80-20 method, you can use 75-25. I don't care what you use, but as long as you take time to stop and reflect. Because if you're steadily running and running and running, it's like driving a car and you speeding. You keep going and you never check up to see how much gas you got.
Don't check on
All
the
of a sudden,
gas, let alone the maintenance of it,
yeah,
right?
right. Gas or the maintenance, you never check up. You keep going, but you have to take time to stop. See how the car is doing. The car is what's carrying you. You, this body you're in, is carrying your spirit. Stop, reflect, do some self love, self care, care for your body. Stop every now and then, do a salt bath, care for yourself. Go outside and just sit in nature. Just walk through a park, go to your local botanical gardens or whatever it is. Take
Yes.
time to just push the pause button
Yeah.
and reflect, relax. That is the assignment I have for everybody.
Yep. Mercury retrograde is your pit stop for
Yeah,
you to make it
yeah,
stop whatever needs to stop so that you can move forward, right? We are all here. We all want the same things. We want to fly, we want to soar, right? Okay, how can we
oh
fly
yeah.
and soar with ease and grace when we got such baggage? We need to release, right? Release it. It's okay. Learn to let go. Go. It is amazing when you do so. Again, my friends,
Oh,
it's all about the
it flows.
of life. It's all about the equipoise of yin and yang. And what I mean by equipoise is that harmonization of it, that balance of life. You will feel so peaceful on the inside. And you know how society says that the true triple, well, their true triple threat is beauty, brains, and whatever else the other thing is. So superficial, right?
Yeah,
No, it
yeah,
came to me from the great divine and meditation and my own spiritual passageway that the true triple threat in life where you can fly, take your time, learn some things, right? Doesn't even have to be in a
yeah,
formal academic setting. To pick up a book, just learn, talk to people, share testimonies, learn that way. In other words, you're harvesting, you're gathering knowledge, right? Applying
uh-huh.
it, your own experience, that's the wisdom. Here's the key to the triple threat where you thrive. Right here, my heart space. Remain peaceful on the inside by understanding why things are existing, why things are happening, why you're fearing, because change is coming up. Remain grounded. Don't
Yeah.
ground yourself, meaning punishing yourself. No. I'm talking about don't come down hard on
Let's go
yourself.
ahead. Yeah,
Ground and
and we need to
relax.
we need to go ahead and wrap it up.
Stay peaceful. That's the third component. That's the win.
Yeah.
Peace inside. Always.
Exactly. Stay peaceful and mindful and love yourself.
You got it. Well, kids, I will let you know that our great divine assignment to us prior to us getting this started, we were led to understand that come month 3, which this is, kids. So on the other side of this Mercury retrograde, guess what's coming up for us? King J and I, podcast time. So
Right.
we're rolling. You see how this all was spiritually aligned and timing for that? On the other side of Mercury retrograde, we'll be podcasting. Of course, we'll keep you posted on all the juicy nuggets that's coming along the way. So
Oh,
until then,
yeah.
Coach Dina Michelle signing off, saying mwah and ciao. And
I am Jay, and I love you well.
all right, be peaceful, be kind to yourselves. Love you. Bye.